on city side, especially because of the everything that's happening on the map. Pretty much everything. Rotation, smokes, Molotovs. You need to address everything, be prepared for everything, be in your position, watch radar all the time, and it's kind of confusing, right, when you bring all those together. But seems like MANS Not Hot's playing really well. I mean, after they lost in Farmskins Championship, they eliminated WINDIGO from IEM Katowice qualifier. They won 16-10. So again, kind of even matchup, I would say, in terms of players. They have both of teams have really good firepower. We saw Nuki what he can do with AWP. He was crazy on Mirage especially. So when he goes against Bubble, it's I think it all comes down if Nuki is in better, let's say, better form right now, because maybe I know yesterday when I watched Bubble against Valiance, he had a bit of a problems. Maybe he doesn't like to play Valiance as a team.
I mean, they know each other for such a long time.
They know each other very well. Yeah, that comes in mind as well. Yeah. We are soon ready to go live, so we are going with predictions.
Mirage, I would give my edge to Nexus team, so I would stick with them 16-10.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the same case again. I'll go with MANS Not Hot, because I don't think Bulgarian lineup matches that well against some of the players on Mirage. So I'll go with 16-13 for MANS Not Hot. Yeah, seems like we are ready to go live for this best of 3, and of course our casters Dean and Hoka are going to take you through.
Thank you, guys. It's good to be back, and we are going to now be returning for the second best of 3 series of the day. Of course, I'm the Irishman that will be taking you through some of the action. I'm Dean, and I will be joined by the best caster, with the exception of myself and the British Isles, Hoka. So take it away.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's controversial.
Is it?
A little bit. I mean, it's very subjective, casting. A baby crying could be better for some people.
I'd watch it.
Yeah. I mean, if you got like a 5-year-old to say what he saw on the screen, that could be fun.
I wouldn't really know what's going on. A little niche in the market. Let's get this up and running.
I don't know any 5-year-olds.
I know 3-year-olds. If we can wait 2 years, we'll be good.
I mean, we're on the way into the pistols, so we're getting straight into the action. Victor with the kit and the smoke. Sicilian's already throwing one of his nades. He's got 2 flashes left, and they are all in towards B apps. Spellan is going to spot them out, so he's going to have to fall back. And the Glock train will go straight into the B bomb site. And Tensky, very quick on the trigger, gets that opening, and the B site is already gained.
Yeah, and just a great opening there to be found, and now it's going to be on the retake for WINDIGO, and this B-bomb site never the easiest to retake. We see Victor actually tagging his teammate up a small amount there, just dinked bubble down to 55, so that's not really going to make it any easier. Esperanto on a nice angle, will be just tapping away looking to try and get it done, finds one headshot at least, and he's doing his best job here just trying to stay alive, and he's doing even more as he finds another kill onto bubble, and it will actually be the double N combo there as Nukia and Nexa are able to close that one out, and MANS Not Hot starts off great and it closes out great also as they take that pistol round.
Yeah, I just want to point out as well, as the desk said earlier, this is a rematch of the previous winners match of this group, and the maps are the same. They're just in a slightly different order, with WINDIGO picking Cobblestone instead of Train. That's the only difference. So Mirage here still picked by MANS Not Hot. They won it last time out. The other difference is that now MANS Not Hot are playing with one different player, Nukia instead of Kalinka. That was a somewhat recent change. And Nukia's been playing pretty well for this team. I think he's certainly improved them. And oh, Bubble with the scout gets a headshot. He's only going to get the 1 kill. Unfortunately for WINDIGO, they were stacked towards B, but that was a very nice shot at least. Still, the bomb site lost, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I'd say already this is probably just going to be a save from WINDIGO. No real point of going for this, especially with Doubt if he was kit, only having the pistols. Punisher, he's looking tempted to maybe push forward a bit, maybe try and drop a weapon or two in the process here, which he should be able to do. It's going to be the UMP that has been retrieved. Nukia, though, taking down the player who was coming in on the flank, so that should now be the round confirmed in favour of MANS Not Hot. Still a chance for maybe some more damage to be done and maybe even another weapon to be retrieved, as for now Punisher should be able to escape with that UMP, and we see Ships, he'll be sticking around, taking the fight, gets a nice shot there onto Esperanto, and that's one of the rifles now dropped. If he can actually manage to retrieve that weapon, it's actually a very nice round coming in by the MANS Not Hot, by the WINDIGO side rather.
Ooh, Nexa died to the bomb. Okay, they only saved 1 AK. That's not great for Man's Not Hot, to be honest. They would have liked to have held on to a couple more guns, especially considering they went to the bomb site where there weren't any real Wendigo players except the one scout that they traded on pretty easily. So that's somewhat surprising, and you can see Man's Not Hot slowly but surely buying up. They will reinvest into a fair few AKs, and, well, this is almost looking like a carbon copy of the previous round, except this time, Wendigo don't have a single player over towards A. Bubble is back in towards Window, and now he's gone out towards B. Yeah, this is going to be, I think, a pretty boring round, because Man's Not Hot will just waltz their way onto A.
Yeah, and hopefully for their own sake this time won't really lose too many weapons afterwards, as they want to try and build themselves up a decent economy before Wendigo actually get the rifles out. We see at least a couple SMGs that maybe could go ahead and hunt to try build up some economy, I guess. Get 600 of course per kill with those SMGs, with the UMP and the MAC-10. The only exception would be the P90. But let's see what they're going to go for. It seems like they are indeed sending those out to maybe try and take 1 or 2 kills. They know that at least some Kevlar was saved over by Wendigo, so it may also be worthwhile actually sacrificing those SMGs in an attempt to force a bit more of a reinvestment into the following round by Wendigo.
Could we see a round where no one dies? That's the question. Esperanto has taken some damage, so that's not a possibility. Yeah, he's straying out. He's going with the Mac. He's not going that hard though, so no one dies. Turns out that that's a possibility. Peace is an option.
Yeah,
we're gonna get a buy now though. So I mean that's not gonna happen this round. There's no way.
No, definitely not.
It's not an option this time.
I'd say Wendigo are actually happy with that. They stopped Man's Not Hot from getting the extra money, and they were able to carry over their Kevlar. And you can see because of that they actually have a fairly solid buy. They even get the op onto Bubble. And Man's Not Hot deciding to keep on the 2 SMGs. Looks like they will be going just for an immediate execute towards this A bomb site. Although they will need to get a move on soon. We see aggression towards middle, which means if they were to go for this now, those smokes will do a great job at actually cutting these players off and being able to try and assist the player who's cut off into CT. Spelling, indeed, that smoke will go down towards Connector. Not really going to have any vision for the moment. Some damage has at least been done by the Molotovs as Esperanto's taken down to 36. But it is a decent position for Man's Not Hot, as they should be able to successfully find this bomb plant.
Oof. Esperanto nearly goes down to the flames. Punisher's in on the big flank, and he just about gets that kill. That is the man advantage on the potential retake on the A site. The ceiling is still in towards A ramp, so he could certainly find the eventual trade. The Wendigo are lining up the retake. Trade's going back and forth, and Esperanto, on just 15 HP, gets 2 headshots. He's made it into a 2v2, and Esperanto gets a third. It's still back to a 1v1, but the time has ticked down so far. Victor fakes it, gets the kill. I don't think he has time, though. No, he does not. Unfortunate for Wendigo, but great work from Esperanto there. After going down so low on health, 3 kills from that position was incredible.
Yeah, that's literally just what sealed the round there in their favour. What a great performance. Esperanto, I'd say, has been the main star for this lineup, and since Nuki was brought in, also he's been up there along with that, just the great fragging potential. So it's good to see now the 2 Lithuanian stars. They are starting it off at least fairly strong in this game. Nuki also being up there, well, not really up there in the scoreboard, but he is 2-1. He's got himself a couple of kills, and now with an eco coming in from Wendigo, it should be another fairly easy round for the Man's Not Hot side. It's just 1 SMG in play, the rest being rifles, and there you go, Nuki and Esperanto. They step it up once again, but Punisher, he is going to be able to find 1. Ships hits the other, actually, rather, so it was 2 players chiming in. But still a really good return early on in this round by Wendigo, and with Nuki being so low on HP, this could get scary.
Yeah, the guns, or the rifles at least, that have been dropped are quite far away, so that shouldn't really be a consideration. But, oh, Tensky comes into underpass and gets that quick headshot. In the meantime, Nexa should spot this man, does get the frag. Spellan may get a kill back, but with the smoke coming in, that doesn't even seem like an option anymore. With a minute left, Wendigo will spot him out. And a solid clean up from Man's Not Hot. So already a 5-0 lead. Very, very strong start. And again, Wendigo, they will get a buy together. This time, it looks like they may have 2 AWPs. There we go. Bubble does invest into another one. So previously, Wendigo with their AWPs didn't really play the AWPs towards mid. They went for mid aggression with 3 players. This time around, we are going to see Bubble play in towards Window, but Man's Not Hot not interested in the mid presence to start the round, at least.
Yeah, seems like they're definitely expecting an adaptation to come in from WINDIGO. They're expecting perhaps an aggressive push up mid to get some map control, because MANS so far they've been doing a good job when they wanted the map control towards mid. They basically took it for free. As now WINDIGO, they will at least slightly try and contest it. We see Victor looking to maybe try and get aggressive Punisher also up on top of that Rylance, and also one of the ops is also going to be just posted up on this angle. Victor playing anti-flash also with great position, gets himself one. Only need to find the second as he has the support from Bubble. And early on now, these fights, they will be won out in favour of the WINDIGO side, and it seems with a one-man advantage, they're happy enough with just falling back off on this one.
Yeah, pretty good start. That's exactly what they wanted the setup to do. Both players get a kill each, and Victor can still fall back because his teammate was watching the angle for him. Speaking of Victor, he may take another fight here because Nexa is in towards Palace. He's not going for any aggression just yet, but with 45 seconds left, MANS are going to have to make a move sooner rather than later. And Tensky is also kind of stuck in towards mid. It's going to be very difficult for him to get in towards connector with Bubble still there, but Nexa gets a double entry onto the A site. Bubble has to rotate off. So that allows the connector push to come in from Tensky. And all of a sudden, it's a 2 versus 2. Those kills came very, very quickly. Tensky goes out for a kill as well. And Bubble now is left in a 1-on-2, and this has fallen apart for WINDIGO.
Yeah, Bubble all alone. Hits the first shot though. Great connection on towards Tensky. Nukia now aware of the position, will be planting the bomb. But Bubble, of course, he heard the noise. He's currently zeroed in on this position, but it doesn't matter. Nukia with the CZ wins it out. And MANS are able to claim themselves yet another gun round. And increase this lead even further now, as it is going to be 6-0. And with a pause being called, this has to be tactical by WINDIGO.
In comes the pause for the Bulgarian side. With good reason, 6-0 down, not the start they would have been hoping for. Again, MANS I think, will be fairly favoured to take Mirage here, but WINDIGO certainly still want to be putting up a fight, certainly still want to be showing up. And, I mean, they are getting a fair few kills, it's just not quite going their way at the end of the round. We saw a similar position in their earlier gun round where they didn't quite get the win on the board, even after taking it close. And that leaves them again in a position where they can't go for the full investment. And I mean, you can see MANS have been scraping a fair few of these round wins. You can see that just in their economy. They really don't have much money built up. So that's one positive for WINDIGO. However, to break that economy, they need to win a round at some point, and that's not something they've proven they can do just yet.
Yeah, we saw them getting extremely close in that previous round. I liked the idea of getting early on that aggressive push of mid. They had Victor in a perfect position with anti-flash. He was able to get one. His teammate was able to chime in also, and then they fell back, but they just kind of got overrun then on the A-bomb site. It ended up just being Bubble alive in the jungle, and he just wasn't able to win out that clutch, even with a pretty great attempt. But yeah, WINDIGO, let's see if they're finally going to be able to get themselves something onto the board. They won't have the full buy into this round, but they will have at least some form of investment. They have the pistols, they have some utility, and they also have Kevlar onto the majority of the players other than Bubble, who of course is really going to be focusing on making sure he can get that off out in the following round. And it looks like they're going to go for another B stack. This is something we've seen from them a lot in this game so far. And well, really, it seems like MANS have been more focused on the mid position, and once they kind of notice that there's no one actually towards the connector / A site, they tend to just split towards this part of the map, and it hasn't really been working out for WINDIGO.
Yeah, it feels like other than the pistol, it has been a lot of A plays, and with that aggression coming in, Nexa gets a free entrance onto the A site. Don't know that the A site is completely open, but they are going to slowly but surely creep their way up through mid. This is giving time for the rotate, however, they're getting into positions where they can spot the rotate out. Said that, Ships gets a dink after finding the first frag, and oh, Punisher doubles down from connector. So again, the round becomes close, but Nukia going to go in with just the CZ in hand. Spellan left in a 1v2. He may have the bomb down, but he only has a P250. Doesn't look like they know where he is, and Spellan gets that quick kill. It's Nukia now with the AWP. If he misses the shot, it's over, but he manages to nail that kill. That's what he needed, but again, MANS have to play it close.
Yeah, there was actually a molly still available there on the player who walked up towards jungle. He ended up getting taken down. Probably would have been good if they had used that to just try and clear out that corner. It's a fairly common position. If he's not there, then you've at least eliminated one position that you actually have to focus your crosshair on, so would have been good. But either way, they still win the round. It's costly in terms of the economy for sure, and right now they haven't really built up much, so one round win for WINDIGO could put them in a pretty decent position to try and get some at least momentum back in their favour. As once again, it seems like the CTs will try and put a lot of focus towards middle, and Man's Not Hot just changing it up as always. They haven't really been stale so far in this T side. They have a lot of ways to try and approach the rounds, and it's been working out quite well. Right now, we'll be holding a little bit more of a passive default, waiting to see if any aggression comes up towards top mid, or maybe even through the underpass, but it doesn't seem like we're going to really see that from WINDIGO rather.
Yeah, I think with how many rounds they've lost, they've decided it's time to just hold back in a default setup, see if they can just win some aim fights, because they have been able to win quite a few aim fights so far, but yeah, eventually Man's Not Hot get their way back into the round. Victor going to be holding towards mid. He may be the first point of contact as the peek comes in. Victor trying to play the off angle, but he doesn't get the kill. It's Esperanto to take him down first. Man's Not Hot will happily gain mid control. With 45 seconds left, they do have to speed things up, but yet again, it's another A split.
Yeah, this is definitely what they've been favouring so far, and if it ain't broken, don't fix that, I guess. But Ships, he'll be able to be a thorn in the side at least this time, as he is able to take down one Punisher. Also drops Esperanto, and the one man, or rather, in equal situation now, but a Molotov forces out Punisher. That's not good right now for the CT side. Working with a one-man disadvantage. Bubble from the jungle. Nice shot on towards Tensky. Actually drops the bomb, but it should be retrieved. But this could get dangerous. Spellin, he's able to catch that shot into Wasilian even while blinded. And now this leaves it all onto Nukia, the newest addition to this Man's Not Hot side in the 1-on-2. And looks like the CTs right now, they will be just trying to push him down together. He doesn't hit the flick, and he has been tagged up. 16 points of HP and no time to win this round, as he will be hunted. At least gets that kill onto Spellin, and he escapes with his life just about, as he will be able to carry that up over, which is extremely important considering, as I said, the economy for the Man's Not Hot side is not looking very good.
Honestly, neither side has a great buy here. I mean, WINDIGO's is certainly slightly better, but they are forced down to a couple of weakened weapons. The nades aren't exactly full, but it's certainly Man's Not Hot with a slightly tougher buy. Having said that, Nukia still had the AWP, and he had the chance to get the opening, but he missed it. Flash is going to come in. Bubble, now gets tagged down to 16 HP. That was the AWP connecting through the wall there. But still not going to be the opening kill. Either way, Man's Not Hot gain mid control, and now they can work connector. See a couple of players looking to do so. In the meantime, WINDIGO are playing very, very passively. Apart from Punisher in towards Palace, they are holding from very, very far back positions, with Ships playing the most passive of all. Just watching the murder hole here. It's going to be quite difficult for him to assist the A hold, and well, guess what Man's Not Hot are doing? They're going to the A site yet again. 2 through connector, 3 through ramp. Let's see if it works out for them, because I'm not sure if they know Punisher is in Palace.
Yeah, it's going to be so difficult. Victor, I was going to say, needs to get a lot of work done. As you see, he doesn't really find anything at all. We will see Ships now repositioning towards CT at least, trying to get the spray down. He gets a second kill onto Wasilian. That's also still with a player alive in the Palace. Punisher in a great position to actually swing this round in favour of WINDIGO, as it's looking much better now for the CT side. The bomb, it is going to be at least planted, I believe, and allow now for the Ts to try and actually hold themselves down in this after plant, but it's going to be a tough one. Nukia, he steps it up when it's required, gets a second onto Spellin. Let's see if he'll be able to find any more, but Punisher up close, he will be able to catch him off guard, and now it's all onto Esperanto in the 1-on-2, low HP, onto Bubble as he tries to find the clutch, and the damage is yet to be done, but he will eventually close it out. Esperanto steps it up when it's needed and clutches the 1-on-2 to allow Man's Not Hot to reset the economy of WINDIGO.
I'd have to look back at the clip there, but it looked like Nukia might have been running on that second shot. It definitely looked a bit weird, the second AWP shot, but he managed to get it to connect, and that's all Man's Not Hot needed to break WINDIGO's money yet again. 8-1 now. I mean, again, as we pointed out previously, Man's Not Hot have never really built up money on their side of things. They've always been on the verge of being broken, but WINDIGO have also never been able to quite convert the rounds they've needed, and so now they're in a position where, I mean, they could force, and if they did force, again, they would break the Man's Not Hot economy, but the buy would just be so poor, you wouldn't expect them to be able to come out on top. It's just a very tough spot for WINDIGO right now. It's going to be incredibly difficult for the Bulgarian side to get even a reasonable CT side. I mean, they'd be lucky if they got sort of 5 rounds at this point.
Oh yeah, I think right now Mans Hot are looking at least an 11-4 half in my opinion. They should have this round fairly easy. They've definitely just looked like the much stronger team so far in the T side, and you can see even their mentality right now is pretty good. Calling for this tactical pause, even though they took that round, they're like, okay, we took that round all right, but our money's not very good. If WINDIGO did manage to reset us now, they'd be still in with a chance to maybe build themselves up a 7-round half, and they don't really. It'd still be decent for Mans Hot, of course, but with having such a great lead into it now, they want to try and capitalize on this as much as they can. And they are going to have, hopefully, a solid plan now coming into this round to actually allow them to withstand these pistols. And I don't think WINDIGO are going to buy up. It doesn't actually look like it. They may actually just go. They may actually just go for this double eco and focus on that upcoming gun round.
Huh. This was Mans Not Hot's tactical pause, by the way, for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Just noticed that. They're trying to get it unpaused, and there we go. It looks like we will be back underway, and WINDIGO have elected to go for the force buy. I mean, remember, there certainly is an upside to this. If they can get this buy to work, they will be in great shape to at least salvage a decent CT side. But it's going to have to be a miraculous round win. It's going to start with some aggression to a ramp. Does get the quick trade. So a 1-for-1 to start the round. Not awful, but it does mean that WINDIGO only have 2 players left on the A site now. And they also have very, very little utility to play with.
Yep, nice find by Victor though. He will at least get one to allow for it to remain in an equal situation, a 3-on-3. And once again, as always, it looks like Mans Hot will be favouring their way towards this A bomb site. And WINDIGO, I guess they're familiar at this point that this is where Mans Hot are definitely hitting towards a bit more often than not, rather, as they will go ahead and position all 3 players towards this side of the map. I like this gamble, but then again, the aggression by Victor, maybe a bit too much of a gamble as he ends up actually losing the odds, not going in his favour. Nexa takes him down. Nice nade also towards the under palace, and Spam also going to allow for his health to be brought down, and he burns alive for the hands of Nukia. Only a Cillian to find the final kill on the Punisher. And Mans Hot, they are able to withstand the pistols. They do so, keeping themselves with 3 of those weapons alive. And then WINDIGO, once again, just going to be facing an eco.
Yeah, I think that round might just have put WINDIGO sort of, not necessarily in the grave, but certainly close to it. Gonna see Mans Not Hot by the looks of things go out towards B, and WINDIGO are all together out towards mid. Yep, this is again another bomb site lost at the start of the round. WINDIGO not quite guessing correctly, not quite predicting correctly with their stacks so far. Esperanto has the MAC-10, so he's more than happy to run and gun and take some fights, and that nade does so much damage. Bubble down to 27 HP, and he will be finished off. Very clean round win, 10-1 at this point. I mean, WINDIGO, they might get a buy together, but they're going to be lacking the AWPs, they're going to be lacking the utility, and even when they've had all those, they haven't been able to win rounds.
Yeah, and you said earlier on, it seemed like they were able to win out at least some gunfights, but it seems like at the moment, Mans Hot, they're just getting confidence in themselves, and they've been winning the majority of them now, so that's just making it even tougher for WINDIGO, as it looks like they will at least go back to some sort of an aggressive play. They'll push their way up mid, very little utility to work with, so this is their attempt to at least try and counteract that and get themselves a bit of map control and not allow Mans Hot to have all the room they want to work with. It's a very similar setup to what we've seen before, this time without the op, and also with 2 players actually pushed up into this position. We see Bubble playing anti-flash while it's going to be Punisher that actually takes contact. And once again though, Mans Hot, they will try and approach towards the A-bomb site. Looking to be a split, 2 players through the underpass, and it will actually be a great opening kill by Nexa as he takes down Bubble, who tried to get some info towards that position. Punisher at least returns it from top mid and gets himself a second also, as Ships is able to drop a Cillian. And he also closes that one out with Esperanto, and now it's all going to be onto Nukia rather. And Ship steps it up massively on the A-bomb site for a quick triple kill.
It was still quite important that Ships got multiple frags there, because he was the only player fully committed to the A site for the entire round. Mainly because of that 3 mid stack. Eventually a player did come back to assist him, however, he got all the frags himself. So heading into round 13, we will get to see again, of course, both teams with buys. The Bubble is going to peek out towards mid. And oh, he does spot them out, gets that first kill. Esperanto, however, gets the opening pick for the T side, so just a 1-for-1. And Spellman chunked down to half HP there through the smoke. Won't be too pleased about that one. It is a 4v4 that will ensue. And again, Mans Not Hot, they've gained mid control. They've already got a player in towards A ramp. Seems somewhat likely they might be thinking about at least going for that A split again. Esperanto looks to gain ground in towards connector. Doesn't quite make the move yet. And with over a minute left on the clock, they don't have to rush things, that's for sure.
Yeah, they're not really forced into doing anything. They're just at the moment going to be waiting to see if maybe they can get an even better advantage before they actually do go towards one of these bomb sites and get a bit of a read perhaps on what the current setup is for the CT side. They could maybe still go back towards B. We see the bomb at the moment is actually just outside of the B apartments, and also with Nexa beginning to move back, it looks like they may actually be trying to switch this up and go towards the B bomb site, which WINDIGO at the moment, they've a bit of a gamble stack over towards A. 3 players are going to be focused with most of their attention on this side of the map. I mean, we'll see some utility being thrown out towards B also, and because of that, the rotate has come in. The bomb only going to be getting itself into position now, so a solid setup going to be at least over towards B. Bubble with the op posted up on the apartments. Spelling in the corner, but the HP on neither of those players not really looking the healthiest.
And with 20 seconds left, it has to be a very clean take of the site. With 2 players here, this is going to be very difficult. Bubble already gets the first kill. Spellan also chimes in with 1. 9 seconds, and the bomb has to make its way forwards, and Spellan drops it down and straight up wins the round with that 1 kill. Nukia cannot do anything, and he may just die after time. Indeed, he does. Nukia literally has $100 in the bank. And frankly, even I have more money in my bank than him right now.
Yeah, that's not too good for MANS. As mentioned before, though, they do still have a very good half. But you mentioned WINDIGO in a position where they maybe could still get that 5-round half, which wouldn't be as bad as it looks considering how poor of a start they really had into this one. So they should be getting this round for a free, basically. Only the pistols, of course, to face against. Victor and Bubble going to be able to open that one up once again. Have been 2 of the players that have stepped it up for this WINDIGO side throughout the game, and they continue to do so. So Asilian as the last man now. It should be a 4th round for WINDIGO, and then the next round with the bike coming out for MANS Not Hot, that's when we see whether it's actually going to be WINDIGO getting themselves up to 5, or if MANS Not Hot will be able to take the 11-4 half.
Asilian's just chilling, hoping that someone overextends. I think WINDIGO realise how important every round is at this point, though. They don't want any sort of shenanigans. Even though we would be heading into round 15, they probably could afford to lose some guns, but they just don't want to risk Asilian being able to save anything for MANS Not Hot. They're just going to be standing up out towards mid. They know they have the bomb as well, so obviously no reason to take any risks. Asilian, well, I thought he was going to make the move out towards mid. I was going to say, with the CZ, probably not the best bet. Going to try and reposition. WINDIGO certainly, though, will be able to stick with these double AWPs for the next round. And it did seem like the AWPs were fragging decently well. There goes Victor to get the final kill. As I was saying, even in the losses, it seems like, again, the players were fragging pretty well. Bubble was doing all right with the AWP, so I certainly feel like the double AWPs are a good option for WINDIGO, and they will get to go with them for the last round of the half, whereas if you take a look at MANS Not Hot by, sure, they have an AWP, but Asilian is forced down to a CZ, but look at this. Again, they love the A site. It's all they know by the looks of things.
Yeah, and I can't really blame them. It's been working out for them the majority of the time. Of course, Ships had that one round where he stepped it up massively, but is that something that he can do consistently? Will they be able to hold it off this time? But I like at least the aggressive stance that they're going to have pushed up close so that they will be forward of the smokes. Esperanto, though, he's going to be able to open it up. He even gets himself a second. And Punisher lines them up on the spray down, gets the triple, and Spellan with the op chimes in. Now it's going to be all onto Nukia. It was a 1-on-2 clutch. He's able to get at least 1 kill for himself. And it's all going to be onto Bubble also with the op over towards Jungle to try and actually clutch this one out for WINDIGO. As Nukia now, he will decide to just wrap back around. He has a lot of time to work with. He's not really in any form of a rush. Plenty of time, as he does just look to sprint back towards B, it seems. And Bubble, he should pretty soon start to realise that this is a possibility. He's at least being cautious of A for the moment, making sure that Nukia didn't actually hang around. But once the bomb gets planted, he's going to realise that he's going to be having to go for a retake on this B bomb site, which is never really easy. As now the bomb, it is going to be going down. And now Bubble will be aware as he begins to make his way back towards Kitchen. And Nukia just going to be scoped up on this position. Hits him. Not going to be the kill. But he hits the nice flick at least. And the Molotov goes down to deny Bubble from being able to actually push forward. And that could have got dangerous. Nukia jumping across. He only really needs to use the pistol. But it doesn't matter. Bubble, he hits the headshot. Nukia perhaps getting a little bit too confident there. A little bit cocky in his approach perhaps. Didn't really need to go for that face knowing that Bubble was low.
Yeah, I thought the whole reason behind jumping back to the other side was so that he could go a bit more passively over towards short, maybe just play behind the pillar. Either is a good option with where he had the bomb planted, but he decides to try and take the fight. And as you were saying, that allows WINDIGO to get a 5th round right at the end. And I mean, WINDIGO will certainly be pleased that they've managed to at least put themselves in a somewhat decent position where they can still compete. I mean, especially if they win the pistol round, they could be right back in this game. So Man's Not Hot need to make sure they don't, I guess, feel too overconfident. They don't underestimate their opponent, because WINDIGO is certainly a good team, and Man's Not Hot are fully aware of that. As was pointed out, they lost against them in the last time these two teams played in a best-of-3 in this very tournament. Taking a quick look at the scoreboard, though, again, as you were saying, it's Esperanto and Nukia, the two Lithuanians, towards the top of the scoreboard. That seems to be the case somewhat often for Man's Not Hot.
Yeah, they definitely seem to be the main stars that have all of the room to work with. Nukia and Esperanto, both those players, we have actually seen them pick up the ops. I've seen them kind of traded around depending on the map, and they're both extremely capable. I'd say Nukia, since he's came in, he's maybe a little bit more flashy. Esperanto, though, of course, is able to get a very good job done. So on this CT side, which they'll be swapping over to, also I'll be looking forward to maybe seeing a double op setup coming out, seeing what they're going to be able to get done with that. But still, Man's Not Hot with that half. They will be fairly happy. If they win the pistol, they'll be in a great position to still go ahead and just basically close this one out. They'll be able to get themselves up to likely 13 rounds before WINDIGO even get the rifles out. So WINDIGO, this will be a crucial round for them to pick up if they want to be able to give themselves a good chance to actually try and make their way into this with a comeback.
We will head into the all-important second half pistol right now. Man's Not Hot won the pistol on the first half. That allowed them to get off to an incredibly strong streak. Can they do the same here on the CT side? Well, if they did win the pistol here on the CT side, then they wouldn't really need to get off to a streak. They'd only need a few more rounds and they would be over the line. And here we go. Nexa going for the kit and the smoke. In the meantime, Tensky goes for the CZ. Let's see where he plays with that. He's currently gone out towards the B side of the map, whereas WINDIGO just have the one set of nades. And it seems like WINDIGO also are interested in the A site. They're going to test it early on. Smoke coming in over the top for Connector, and WINDIGO should be able to get a fairly easy bomb plant, but there is a gap in that smoke. Trade's going back and forth. Nukia going to get a quick headshot, looking for a second, and he does find it. Players out in the open. WINDIGO, they need some kills, and they need them now. Spellan does find a quick headshot, but Nexa comes in from CT, doesn't secure the frag, though. So 3v2 now, and Nukia still taking the fight, takes him low. Spellan is finished off, and Bubble is just nowhere near the bomb. The defuse, yep, nothing he can do.
Yeah, it was just a great retake there. Once again, the Lithuanian player stepping it up. I believe Esperanto got one, and then Nukia stepped up with a quick double headshot to really put the pressure on WINDIGO. It didn't give them a chance to get comfortable in their afterplant. We saw then, I believe it was Spellan, just had to continue trying to face and actually trying to delay them while his teammate wrapped around from Palace, and he just wasn't able to do that job for long enough, allowed the defuse to come in easily, and Man's Not Hot now going to be able to secure themselves that 11-5 lead. And with the force buy actually coming out from WINDIGO after that bomb plant, they're going to be investing everything into this one. Some SMGs, couple pistols also, and a small amount of utility, and that's not the start they would have wanted. Esperanto, he goes aggressive. Nukia with the MP9 also going to be able to only find one, but luckily enough Esperanto was also there, but successfully the trades once again go back in favour of WINDIGO, as it's going to be Punisher to step it up with that UMP, all on Tensky to try and clutch this one out. One player being 5 HP though, he still has a decent chance, and I believe he's now aware that the bomb is going to be making its way over towards the B bomb site. Because of that, he is actually going to just come up through the underground, try and come through apartments. But a nice plant from Punisher will allow for his teammate to just try and play the time on this bomb, and Tensky at the moment doesn't have a defuse kit.
Yeah, really just decent, just nothing overly impressive, but just a decent decision in the moment to plant for Kitchen. That puts Spellan in a great spot, and with Punisher being low on health, he can afford to just die off here to get the information, to be honest, because then his teammates should feel confident in closing it out in the clutch. Tensky goes aggressive. There is that first kill, but he spots the second. The question is, can he find the frag? Well, without the kit, I don't think it even matters. The round is already lost, and WINDIGO keep themselves in with a chance here. Again, Man's Not Hot. For what it's worth, they did go for 4 MP9s, which is obviously going to be a risk. Only the one rifle to work with. And clearly, it came back to cost them there. They lose to that buy. Having said that, they're still going to force themselves. So it's still very much sort of hanging in the balance.
Yeah, and it's a pretty decent buy, all things considered. The fact that they just lost that round and they're still able to get themselves 2 M4 as a scout. They, of course, carried over the MP9 and Nex also with a CZ. So they have a decent chance at least to be able to try and get something done in this round. But we see WINDIGO playing a bit more safe. They are going to be going for 3 rifles. Two of those being the Kalishnikovs, one of those being a Galil, and also two UMPs, which I guess is a bit of a mini rifle, of course. The nerf, it did kind of maybe neutralize it a small amount, but it is still a very capable weapon. As right now they will try and focus on mid control, it seems. And Nukia, he's in a good position with the M4. Great pot flash goes out. He's able to find himself one. But Spellin instantly going to be able to return that from the underpass. And now a 4-on-4 once again. That M4 yet to be retrieved, but I believe it should be in a moment. Actually, no, Esperanto already has himself an M4, so as the T's look to try and split towards this A bomb site, it's actually going to be mostly on the next to try and hold this down with only a CZ. As a bit of support from a Cillian to try and at least hold down Connector. But also Palace will be another avenue of attack for the T side.
And it looks as though Nexa won't really be able to stop the actual take of the site being pushed into a ramp, but he could certainly catch them off guard after the bomb gets its way on towards the bomb site. There's still a question as to whether it's going to happen, though, because a Cillian gets an opening frag. Oh, and he manages to get a second headshot there. That's somewhat surprising. I didn't think a Cillian would really do too much, but he's made a big difference. And now here comes Nexa. They don't know he's here, and he's going to get an easy frag to leave Ships on just 3 HP. And he's not going to have that health for much longer. Man's Not Hot win the 4 straight back at WINDIGO. And this time WINDIGO really looked down in the dumps.
Yeah, that's probably worse than just straight up losing the pistol round. They did, of course, lose the pistol round, and then yeah, that's probably worse. The fact that they did actually take a round back themselves and instantly got reset, because of course that affects the money bonus. Because of that, they don't really have the option to just try and play for the rifles out on the next round. They are going to be going for the force buy, and if they lose this one, it's likely Man's Not Hot will reach 14 before we see any rifles coming out once again for WINDIGO. So I'm looking very, very bleak right now for the Bulgarian side. As it looks like for now, they will be just holding a bit of a passive default. A lot of focus towards the apartments. 2 players also over towards A. And Victor just waiting to see if he can maybe catch any aggression towards the top of mid. And he's actually able to walk out for basically free there. It looks like we may be seeing a split to the A bomb site. So Man's Not Hot. This is something they themselves love to do on the T side. Let's see if they're going to be able to counteract it now, as it will be the P250 to try and open it up. Victor at least connects some damage, but he won't be able to find that kill quite yet. And Tensky also in a good position to try and support. Spots out one player in the connector over the top of the smoke. Also able to return that damage now, as Esperanto in a good position. Peeks out, finds himself one, spots out another and receives a dink. And also with the players boosted into window, this could get dangerous. Bubble, he runs out of ammo on the CZ. It's not going to be enough, and that means Punisher and Ships now are going to be the final 2 remaining. Punisher, great headshot on towards Tensky, at least to open it up, and hoping to just at least get the bomb plant down now at this point.
There we go, the smoke does allow the cover to allow the bomb plant. Now the question is, can they realistically hold this one off? With a player in Palace, Ships is really not in the best of positions to spot towards that bomb. Having said that, Man's Not Hot have to make their way back forwards, and they are doing that now. Ships had to try and take a fight. He managed to get the 1 kill, but as his teammate goes down, he's almost got no chance. He did manage to do surprising damage there, with both players on the CT side surviving on very low health. However, he was never in the best of positions to hold the bomb, and so WINDIGO go down again, but they're not out just yet. They're not going to go out without a fight. They go for the buy. No AKs, but 4 Galils alongside 1 UMP.
Yeah, this should be an interesting round. The Man's Not Hot right now clearly just have full control of this game. You can see the economy never going to have a chance to build up for WINDIGO. They have to just keep going for the force buys. They aren't really wanting to concede any more rounds at this point. And it looks like, once again, we could be just in another fast split towards this A bomb site. Maybe even a bit of a contact. But next, he's in a good position to shut down the first player. At least Esperanto comes up to find the trade over towards mid. Also, Tensky, he'll be winning at that battle against Bubble. So not looking so good right now for WINDIGO, as you maybe would have expected after you've seen the buy that they had available in this round. And it's just going to be Spellin left to try and clutch this one out. And he's on the completely wrong side of the map right now, over towards the B apartments. Was hoping maybe this lure could get to be effective, but his teammates just dropped too fast. They weren't able to find anything before. He needed a bit of a distraction.
Well, he's going to get into the action now, and Tensky certainly spotted him out and won't allow him to live for too much longer. The headshot secures the round. 14-6 at this point. It does feel like WINDIGO might just have to play for the final 2 maps of this series. Again, at this point, WINDIGO have to force at any point, basically. And I think they're realistically probably looking forward to Cobble instead. Or rather, yeah, Cobble. It would be the next map. Nukia already gets that first pick. And I think Cobble should be pretty favoured for WINDIGO, so they shouldn't be too down just yet. Kills already coming in. The push came out in Connector, and this is basically going as you would expect. Man's Not Hot 15-6 up already.
Yeah, and once again, WINDIGO just going to be stuck on a weak buy. Maybe he can get some Galils out once. Galil down to some of those players. Ships is actually able to afford an AK, means he doesn't get utility. Victor does the same, he doesn't get the head armor, and he also gets no utility. But at least a couple of players do decide to sacrifice that firepower in order to at least have some smokes, some flashes, and some molotovs to work with. As right now, WINDIGO on the back foot, potentially the final round of this first map. And Man's Not Hot looking good to try and close this one out with a very dominant scoreline. As it seems like for now, WINDIGO are going to be split up on a default. Nice find by Ships, though. Opens up the B-bomb site by taking down a Cillian. The bomb, I believe, has been spotted, but that's actually going to make the rotate instantly come in. Because of that Nexa, he's in position to try and shut down Short, and he finds a quick double headshot. Ships turns at least one as he gets a second in the round, and a third headshot as he's stepping it up massively. Esperanto able to at least equalise the situation once again, and a great headshot onto Spellin. As it's going to be all onto Punisher now on the flank, looking to try and get something done with this lurk, as I don't believe he's been heard, at least quite for the moment. With a Molotov and a smoke available for the CT side, this could get dangerous. The Punisher, such a great position, gets one. Will eventually capitalise on that one, and now his position is going to be known to Esperanto, who has the smoke and the defuse. Hit for Punisher, he wins it out, and he gives WINDIGO a lifeline to work with.
Well, there you go. Punisher manages to get into position. I think WINDIGO especially realised there, Man's Not Hot are very unlikely to full-on go for the defuse in that position, just because it's so unlikely it would be successful without a peek coming in. So that just gives the extra time needed to go for the clutch. And when you're in that strong of a position, you can bring it down to a 1v1 basically for free. And it works out for the Bulgarian side. They keep themselves alive. We do see Man's Not Hot with 2 AWPs this time around, on towards Nuclear and Asilian. Asilian is currently over towards B apps. So this is something you see quite often. You see just a stable AWPer looking to lock down B. That allows the rest of Man's Not Hot to focus elsewhere. If you take a look at the minimap, they are all out towards either A or mid. So Asilian does have a bit of pressure on him if the B play were to come through, but he should be in okay shape to fall back and call for the rotate if necessary. And now Tensky is already going over to help him out in case he is required, because Man's Not Hot seem to be okay with giving up the mid presence.
Yeah, they definitely seem to be, but that is going to allow for, once again, a split to maybe come in for WINDIGO if they want to do so. We do see the bomb actually focus towards middle, but with 2 players also in Palace, it is... Or rather, it's only one player. Yeah, it's only one player in Palace. Apologies, I misread the map. But yeah, with 1 player over there, they still have the option to split towards A. With 3 players coming up short, it looks like they have actually decided to go towards the B bomb site and Punisher. I don't think he's going to expect this player to be up close. He could get caught off guard, could hand away a rifle, and he's indeed going to be taken down by Esperanto. Cillian with the op able to step it up also and take down Victor. And it looks like they may be forced into trying to commit to this B bomb site, and they may not even have a chance to do so. It's going to be Nexa to step it up once again. Ships now will be the final man that stands, left on a 1-on-5. He was the hero of the previous round. But is he going to be able to do it now with no assistance? As the answer, well, it is no. Asilian's going to be able to take him down. And we will head back to the analyst desk.
Man's Not Hot this time around, winning with a bigger margin than last time, 16-7 on Mirage to close that map out. And unfortunately for WINDIGO, they're 1 map down, and if they lose the second one, they will be out of Group B and also Farmskins Championship Season 2. Congrats to Man's Not Hot. Definitely from the start, I think they've kind of made a mark there, because they had 7-0 lead at one point, then WINDIGO gets one, but they get immediately reset. It could have been worse than 10-5 half. I think it could have been like 12-3, 11-4 at
maybe
one point.
41.
Yeah, but when it comes to City side, Man's Not Hot takes pistol, WINDIGO takes force buy, then Man's Not Hot takes force buy again. And that must be crushing for the Bulgarian side. I mean, already being down 11-6 at that point and getting reset immediately is definitely not something you look up to, right?
Yeah, I mean, the maybe 2 best players from the WINDIGO team didn't perform at all. I mean, Victor had 11 frags, 10-11 frags. I mean, he's the best. For sure, best individual player in the WINDIGO with the most experience. And he's such a smart player. I mean, only Bubble, Punisher, and Spellin played, I would say, like up to the level. But when you have 3 guys not performing, not getting kills, it's hard to. I mean, 6-7 rounds to take on the map when you're playing with only 2 players, it's more than enough. I would say. I mean, enough. it's
Yeah.
okay result, but you need at least 4 guys hitting the shots. I mean, if you wanna,
Yeah, you can see even Bubble that there at the last round, like
Yeah.
missing that easy AWP shot towards their side.
yeah, and Tensky with like two bullets with M4, right? From that
It
range.
was Nexa actually, but
Nexa?
yeah, but he changed his name to Nexski something.
Okay, it was Nexa then. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's-
Nexa had a pretty good game
yeah,
with the Esperanto, right?
Esperanto and Nuki.
Yeah,
Nuki,
yeah,
yeah.
both, yeah.
So basically, all the players we mentioned at the beginning stepped up, and seemingly so. You can see that everything was on point for them. Like they fixed some of their mistakes they did last time they played against the WINDIGO. It was closer match, as we said. It was 16-13 for MANS Not Hot, and now winning like with this big of a margin. Do you think that they can close it out in 2 maps?
Yeah, for sure. I want to say one thing about WINDIGO. They had that kind of approach on T side on most of the maps. I cannot say on the Cable or Orpas, but on the Inferno, Inferno Mirage, Older Dust 2 when we played, because we practiced against them a lot and we played a couple of times in tournaments. They have that kind of, they always force buy. They don't know how to eco. That ruins their economy, but once you win that round, I mean, basically you can win the match only because of you're crushing the enemies or enemies economy, right? And another thing, they have on Mirage pretty strange, I would say, approach. They always try to go on A side or ramp or from the palace without any flashes. I mean, I studied their demos a lot because some tactics we stole from them, right? You must learn from somebody. I mean, they always like take control, put one guy in the lower 2 guys or 3 guys alley, 1 guy apartment. That's it. I mean, you cannot approach like that every single round. They last 3 rounds they were doing similar stuff all the time with Galils. I mean, go 1 eco, take control of middle, buy utility, take AKs. I mean, you cannot play against such a team with good aimers with Galil. 2 rounds, 3 rounds, or UMP. I mean, it's not possible.
Yeah, I would agree. Definitely, we know that Bulgarians won't love to force actually. So yeah, we'll see if they are going to do exactly that on the second map, which is their pick, and it's Cobble. We are going for a short commercial break. When we come back, we are going into analysis of Cobble between WINDIGO and MANS Not Hot. So stay tuned. Welcome back to Farmskins Championship Season 2, also a qualifier for IEM Katowice. 16 teams fighting their way through GSL format group stage and will join 4 invited teams in playoff single elimination best of 3 bracket. As far as I know, Gambit, Heroic and Fnatic qualified for IEM, so I think Farmskins are going to find a solution. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know if I should say it, but Navi and Mousesports are certainly confirmed together with Big that was already invited for that playoff. So Navi, Mousesports and Big in playoff. They're waiting for one more team to fulfill that spot that's missing in playoff, and we are ready to go. So a lot of good matches. We have good teams, a lot of good teams. Mousesports, Navi joining in playoff. Definitely really interesting, but we'll see when it comes to that playoff. Navi had their chance to qualify Mousesports as well in previous qualifiers for IEM. They didn't succeed. Maybe it's now their time to take this one slot. One of them can, others don't really. But let's move on with WINDIGO and MANS Not Hot. Second map is Cobble, picked by WINDIGO. They're pretty good in Cobble. Seems like it's their go-to pick lately. And they have really good organization, especially when it comes to anti-force buys. I think they are playing those really well. Also, of course, you can look into a team they're playing, if they know their tendencies, if they are going to go towards B, then they stack B. All depends of studying your opponent. But Hoger,
they have also good force buys on the cable. No, for real.
Yep, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. I think they're pretty organized when it comes to those force buys. They're not using it just to force buy because they lost pistol. They're using
rage buy.
Yeah, they're using it correctly and have a thought behind it. Yeah, but let's move with the map. I mean, the map, as we say, is kind of T-sided. Depends also on teams that play that map. We saw Epsilon what they can do on Cobble. They played Navi on Cobble as well. They played pretty well, but we know Navi. Navi usually was better team on T side than they were on City side mostly when they had Guardian and all that lineup. But what do you think? Who's going to take this one?
I'm gonna stay with WINDIGO. I mean, they're better structured, and they didn't open up a match. They didn't open up a match on Mirage as they should, and I think they're really professionals. They play for a lot, and I think they're calm. I mean, it wasn't their map pick Mirage, right? So they're not so, I would say, depressed or I don't know. They still have motivation. They know this is their map pick. They can bounce back and go to third map.
Yeah, hopefully we see WINDIGO in better light than what they showed on Mirage, because I think they can do better definitely than seeing that scoreline. But not to take anything against from MANS Not Hot. I think they played Mirage quite well, and it was their map pick. So yeah, we are soon ready to go live. So prediction:
16-8 WINDIGO.
16-8.
Yeah.
Last time it was 16-14 for WINDIGO, so I would say 16-13 for MANS Not Hot this time. I think they can bring this to home. We are ready to go live with this best of 3 second map of this best of 3 between WINDIGO and MANS Not Hot. Casters for today are Dean and Hoka.
Thanks, guys. Welcome back as always. It is going to be, of course, the second map of the series, and I think I agree with the fact that I think MANS Not Hot are going to be able to close this one out 2-0. I think with the momentum from the previous map, having all their players really firing on all cylinders right now, I think they may be just a bit too much for WINDIGO to handle. What do you think, Hoka?
I reckon WINDIGO will still bounce back. I think it'll be close, though, for sure. But Cobblestone, generally, WINDIGO have been pretty solid on. They generally seem to close out the wins for the most part. And, I mean, last time in this series, Cobblestone was the decider map, but this time they decided to pick it instead of train, and I think that shows they are confident on this. They got a pretty solid win against MANS Not Hot last time out, and yeah, I think WINDIGO are the sort of team that would be able to bounce back, because I think they probably know their Mirage isn't great, so I believe in the Bulgarians.
Yeah, that's fair. They definitely are the type of team that has the experience. And a lot of these players have been around in the European scene for quite a long time. A lot of them would be recognisable playing for teams such as Mortal Kombat, etc. in the past. So that's the core of the roster at least. So yeah, I will be looking forward to seeing if they're going to be able to bring this back and force it to the third map. But of course, let's see how that's going to go. We will be at least getting live into this one now. It is going to be the pistol round beginning, as Sicilian will be the man to pick up some utility. Over on the CT side though, no defuse kick currently. Just going to be opting to go for the 5 sets of Kevlar. And right now it looks like we could be seeing maybe a bit of a play coming towards the A bomb site. We see all 5 T players currently making their way in this direction. Spellin, he's able to open that up with a great headshot onto Nukia. And it looks like now the CTs will perhaps play a little bit more passively.
Yeah, but they're still going to stick with 3 players towards A, so Ships will certainly hear the steps. He only gets the 1 kill, but that should be decent enough. The bomb has been dropped down, remember. That makes it really awkward. It's gone in towards danger. Spellin's still taking a fight towards the A site. The bomb, though, still not in their control. Man's Not Hot need to work on gaining ground there, and the flank is coming in. Bubble going to get the kill from behind. They pushed all the way through B for the big flank, and that leaves Esperanto the sole survivor. He's got a P2000 in hand that he graded. He's going to get a quick headshot. Still 3 more to find, though, and they should overwhelm him. Don't really see him winning from this position, and there it is. Punisher closes it out. They go take a dominant pistol.
Yeah, and that's the start they definitely needed into this one, so they're able to close that one out fairly easily. They're able to get themselves now with the rifles and well, rather just 1 SMG. They're focusing mostly with a FAMAS buy into this one, actually, as Man's Not Hot. Thanks to not getting the bomb plant, they will actually have to buy up into this one. They will be able to get 5 CZs. We know what damage these can get done. They can be scary, especially at those close range positions. And right now, WINDIGO players are going to be pushed down towards the bottom of the ramp on middle. And actually, it looks like Man's Not Hot are going to be able to just run straight up A long for basically free. No one there to actually try and contest this. And we may see a bit of a fast-paced round coming in. Next in a position to try and lurk the drop room once his teammates get a move towards A. And let's see what the CTs are going to do now. It looks like they will at least send the 3rd player over to try and help towards the A bomb site. As the Ts now will make their way out into wood. And Spellin with the M4 looking to try and shut this one down. He finds 1 at least, gets a 2nd. Spellin was... rather, Ships was also there to help him out, of course, and with a couple of kills coming back in favour of Man's Not Hot, I don't think that's really going to be enough. We should see this closed out by WINDIGO, and they do so with 3 players alive.
Yeah, 2nd round on the board. Pretty decent, all things considered. And we will get to see round 3, which should be even easier for WINDIGO. Only 1 upgraded pistol, 1 towards Esperanto, the rest literally sticking with Glocks. So WINDIGO, you would hope would be able to clear this one up rather easily. That's Not Hot, still going to spread across the map, see if they can maybe spot someone from WINDIGO pushing out too far, which they shouldn't really be doing on the WINDIGO side. They should be aware there's no need for them to go for any aggression whatsoever. And we are going to see that come through, because Spellin out towards A long. Maybe he would have stuck around if it was a full gun round, but he realizes he's up against pistols, decides to fall back just a little bit. And Man's Not Hot, they're just kind of sticking together. I think now they might group up for a drop push, though.
Yeah, I'd say the best chance now for them to actually get anything out of this round is definitely just to group up together. Drop her in one of those good positions with the Glocks, even because it's just so close range. But Victor has an MP9, he should find at least a couple of kills out of this. He ups that to a few, as he also takes down Esperanto. Will eventually get traded by Nexa, but only an MP9 handed over, a 3-for-1 trade. They'll be very happy with what they were able to get done there and towards drop room, as the round should be closed out in favour of WINDIGO, as Tensky's going to be the last man standing, and his HP not looking so good, as he will be finished off by Spellin. And WINDIGO with 4 players alive there are able to get themselves that round and not losing any of those rifles either.
Yeah, fairly standard start for WINDIGO after winning the pistol fairly easily. Now they get their first big test after the pistol round in terms of full AKs for Man's Not Hot. And they also have quite a few nades to work with. So if they want to go for some sort of full-on execute, they can do so. That nade's going to go up. Doesn't do massive damage. That's such a common nade now that a lot of teams will just sit back and wait to see if it comes through. And, well, speaking of coming through there, the push came in on the Man's Not Hot side, and Victor nearly got picked off at the start of the round, down to 16 HP. Still no push from Man's Not Hot. And you can see WINDIGO, they're still sticking with 2 players towards A, so they feel confident that these B players can lock down the site. And they might have to do so, because Nexa gets such a quick headshot, looking for a 2nd, and the spray down is good. Man's Not Hot just carve up the B site, and Punisher and Spellin have little left to do.
Yeah, just a good round by Mans in the Hot. We saw WINDIGO, since they kept over a few FAMASs, I guess they wanted to go for a bit of a more aggressive push late into the round, claim themselves some control, and it just didn't work out. The Molotov was placed almost perfectly to at least stop Nexa from having assistance, but he was able to find both of those opening kills himself. Because of that, the B-bomb site was just easily overrun by the terrorists, and because of that, also Punisher and Spellin are going to be left to just try and save these two FAMASs. Having a look at the economy though, the CT side, it's not too bad. They should be able to get their buyout. They should be able to even get the ops if they wish to do so. I'd presume it would only be one, the CT side of Cobblestone. Not really a map really where you'd go for that double op setup, because just the retakes can be so difficult. You really hinder yourself when you have both of those scoped rifles.
Yeah, so a couple of FAMAS is saved. We'll get to see the buys come through now. That's going to be the real interesting thing on the WINDIGO side of things. One AWP up. Yeah, I expect it only to be stuck with one, as you were saying. Bubble going to pick that one up. And we did see WINDIGO kind of lean towards those double AWPs back on Mirage. They really seem to want those to work for them. It never really panned out, except for towards the end of the half, but still not really having the option here. Either way, look at this. Such quick aggression, and Victor sprays down 2. Back to a 4v3, and Mans Not Hot need to gain some ground, but the trades are still favouring WINDIGO.
Yep, nice fun by Astillion though. Will at least be able to drop Bubble and take down the last remaining player that was actually towards this B-bomb site. Also, Utility still in play for the T-side. Molotov thrown out. Another smoke also for Nuki, which could maybe be put down towards the door to kind of limit Spellin from actually being able to push forward for a little bit longer, as he will have a teammate coming around on the flank. Punisher in a good position. Let's see if he's going to be able to get anything done. Spellin once again is going to be just shut off from the bomb site to smoke down perfectly. Nuki, he reads that flank is coming in, and he's going to be able to find that headshot with ease and maybe able to close this one out as he gets the spray down onto Spellin. Connects that headshot eventually, and Mans Not Hot. It was looking like it was going to be going in favour of WINDIGO. The reset was looking possible, but no, they were able to come back in a 2-on-4.
Yeah, WINDIGO not investing all that much. I mean, they have a decent losing bonus built up from those 2 lost rounds previously, so I just thought they might have been able to invest a little more here. Either way, we're going to head into this round with only a few pistols bought for WINDIGO. No armor as well, so yeah, very surprising that they didn't really get any investment going. I'd expected Spellan to maybe go for something, but I guess he might want to drop an AWP. Either way, a lot of things still up for debate as we're going to see the push come in towards mid, and Tensky nearly gets caught off guard with the timing, but manages to recover for the spray down. It's an important first kill to gain for the Mans Not Hot side of things, as, well, Tensky takes another fight and wins it. Only 2 players left for WINDIGO already. It looks like this will be a fairly clean-up, if you like, up against the pistols. Only Victor to get a frag. He upgrades to the Deeg, looking for a quick headshot or 2. Not going to happen, though. Mans Not Hot bring it back to an even scoreline.
Yeah, 3-3 now. WINDIGO will finally be able to get the weapons back out. As you mentioned, also Spellin seemed to be saving for the op, but he may actually go ahead and keep that himself, as also Ships was able to pick one up. He drops that over towards, I believe it will be in the hands of Bubble as expected, and there you go. So solid buy now into this one for WINDIGO. They have also plenty of utility to work for, or at least a decent amount to try and back it up. But as I mentioned, it can get difficult on the retakes with that double off setup, so they want to be able to actually hold this down initially. As right now, Mans Not Hot looks like they will be favouring over towards A, just grouping up at the doors. A pop flash goes in. Punisher is going to be caught in the open, and he won't be able to find a kill. Only a bit of damage to be put in towards Tensky. Now Mans Not Hot making their way up towards A, as the CT is looking to try and get into position to hold this one down, but the utility being used perfectly to cut them off.
In the meantime, though, Nexa is up towards B. This is going to make a massive difference. The bomb's going to come back around, and Bubble in drop might just get caught. Indeed, he does. Really smart play from Nexa there to realize he needs to go for the aggression out towards B, either to try and sell some sort of presence there, or to just see if the bomb site is open. And this time around, he got lucky. There was no one there. WINDIGO fully committed to the rotate. Spellan should spot this kill towards mid. However, 1 kill isn't really a massive consolation, considering they've straight up lost the round. And yeah, very, very smart play from Mans Not Hot. I'm quite impressed that they had sort of the frame of mind to go for that, because it looked like they were fairly committed to the A play, but they realized they can afford to go back around, and it worked really well.
Yeah, it was a bit of a high risk, high reward play. If the full rotate hadn't have come in by WINDIGO, next time maybe you would have gotten taken down without getting anything done, and the man advantage could have been thrown away. But the fact that they just saw so much utility being thrown over the connector wall, I believe it was, a lot of flashes etc. were thrown over. They must have presumed that WINDIGO had taken a bit of a gamble and started to rotate already. And Nexa, perfect reads as he goes in and gets himself that kill.
And now WINDIGO get to save a couple of their guns. It looks like they have elected to go for the full-on force, which is certainly fair enough. It's not even really a force buy. They've certainly got enough money for it here. So the question is, can they have a better showing this time around? Because that wasn't exactly what they were hoping for, getting sold a fake on the rotate over. I mean, to be fair, I say sold a fake. It looked likely that Man's Not Hot were going to go for that push, and then they just couldn't react in time going back towards B. So, not even necessarily a fake, more just the actual push was going to come in, and then they changed their minds. So, WINDIGO this time around won't have to deal with any of those shenanigans early on, because Man's Not Hot haven't gone for any full-on aggression yet, but just as I say that, Ships is going to spot out the first. So there we go, WINDIGO get to play with a man advantage. That's a good sign for them. After losing 4 rounds in a row, that might just sort of calm things down for them.
Yeah, good work by Punisher. They're going to be able to find at least one in the connector. Cillian in a good position, but Victor coming in on that flank will be able to shut him down. And Lurk has now been taken out of the equation for Man's Not Hot. Only going to be 2 players that remain, and right now they're going to be both positioned over towards B. One above the drop and one over towards B along with the bomb. Let's see what they're going to decide to do now. Nukia, he will be looking to try and at least get his way out towards long, try and find an opening kill. You see he is maybe just biding his time a bit. He has 35 seconds to work with, but Bubble, good position with this off, looking to try and shut it down, and he actually doesn't connect the shot. Nukia finds one, as does Tensky. Victor at least trades it again, but Nukia given the chance now to at least get this bomb down and get that extra money for his team to work with.
Yeah, that was a really nice shot to take down the AWPer. He's going to have to land a couple more, though, in the 1 versus 2. And WINDIGO playing it smart, sticking together. Nothing Nukia can do there. Unless he got an instant headshot, he was always just going to be double peaked. Good, just solid play from WINDIGO. Solid team play to make sure they don't lose the round. All things considered, though, Man's Not Hot made that a little bit closer than you would have expected. And it was still quite a tight round win for WINDIGO. So remember, if they lose this round, their money is going to be rather poor, whereas Man's Not Hot already have quite a lot of cash built up. And looking at the Man's Not Hot side of things, speaking of that cash, they could have gone for an AWP, they decide not to. I think that's probably the correct decision. AWPing on the T side of Cobblestone always feels a little bit clunky to me. Maybe you can get an opening pick, but then the push on the site can be awkward. So Man's Not Hot sticking with the AKs, certainly a fine decision. A lot of teams will just stick with the rifles.
Yeah, certainly. You shouldn't really limit them too much. There's a lot of close range positions, such as over towards A, where you look to try and get that map control. So sticking with the rifles shouldn't really affect them. We do see actually 2 players right now over towards this position for the CT side. And actually that boost coming in, I believe, up on the little cubby corner could be a good position if it's not expected by Man's Not Hot, as it hasn't actually been used yet in this game. As right now, it is going to be DT is just sending 1 player back towards B, as the rest of them look to try and contact up towards long, and let's see what's going to be done. Nice opening by a Cillian. Doesn't expect the player up in the cubby as we would have expected, and this could still get dangerous. We can see this brought back in the favour of WINDIGO if he's able to get a lot of work done, and look at his spelling playing. It's so smart. He's not going to be shooting. Finally he does so. Gets the kill of the nuke yet, and maybe could be dropped now, but he does manage to escape with his life, and that's what's important. He equalized the situation. He even spams to the smoke, gets 1 more. Esperanto eventually returns it, but damage has been done, and what a great round there early on by Spellin to at least give his teammates a chance now to try and bring this one back.
Yeah, I thought for a second Spellan had left it a little too late, but decent work there to get back to safety after only finding the 1 kill. He realized that he didn't need to play for the multiple frags, because if he straight up took the fights, he would have been in trouble. Either way, Bubble has the AWP over towards B, but the push has come down drop. He's not going to spot that out, but he certainly spotted the flash. That allows quite an easy kill to come through. The rotate comes in, and Ships just about gets there in time. Really good timing there on the rotate to drop the bomb, and Ships is going to tap away looking for the kill. He does get actually dropped by Tensky, but with 3 seconds, Tensky now is the one that might go down after time here. Yes, he does. Victor comes in for the final frag, and WINDIGO regain the lead.
Yeah, luckily he is still 57.50 in the bank, so it won't actually affect this round. He will still be able to get the buy out. Ideally, he would have wanted to have saved that, of course, but he still is able to get a full buy, as are the rest of his team. And still damage being done by MANS Not Hot. WINDIGO, their economy is not going to be great, and we see MANS Not Hot now knowing that the economy is low for WINDIGO, still knowing that they have at least one more buy into this one before they have to eco. They're going to actually go ahead and call the tactical pause, and if they're able to win this one out, the economy of WINDIGO likely going to be completely broken. So this is going to be still a very important round for the Bulgarian side.
And Nukia picks up the ult for MANS Not Hot, as we're pointing out. That's something you can go for. It's not necessary. But he decides that after losing 2 in a row, it's worth switching it up. You have to still just see the WINDIGO buys come through, but I'm assuming it should just be a full buy for Punisher. Bubble can get the nades, and they are all good. And there we go, Punisher buys up, so we will get to see round 10 come into play. And neither side really has much money built up in the bank now. MANS Not Hot had managed to build up some from those 4-round wins prior to these losses, but that has been slashed back by WINDIGO's round wins. And now MANS Not Hot, well, I assume they're going to take this round somewhat slowly, because now they have the ult for Nukia. I would assume they would like to just try and work a pick on towards him, which is absolutely an option on Cobblestone. There's quite a few long-range angles you can try and play. It's just when you're trying to push the actual site, sometimes it can be awkward with that AWP.
Yeah, certainly the rifles you would have a lot more versatility to really kind of just get moving with those to find the openings. But of course, Nukia, he can still hang back and try and find the stray CT players, I guess, while his teammates would be the ones that kind of push in forward. And you can see that is happening right now. They're looking to try and get that map control towards middle. Asilian ensuring there's no long aggression, making sure if there is that he'll be able to spam that player down and at least connect some damage. But we can see the CTs, after being aware of MANS Not Hot incoming. After being aware that MANS Not Hot were incoming over towards A, they've decided to just fall back off, play a more passive setup, and actually take a bit of a gamble by sending another player over towards A, thanks to having the boost towards the drop room. That allows them to take a bit of a gamble because they have that position to try and get the info maybe a little bit earlier and allow for their rotate then to come back into place. So MANS Not Hot, if they actually go ahead and execute onto this bomb site, they could be walking into a bit of a stack and it could get very dangerous. And look at this by Stellan, he pushes forward. Will he be able to get the kill? Doesn't seem so, as Esperanto wins that one out. And now it could get scary, but still, 2 more players in position, like Tread by Asilian. I'm sure towards the bottom of mid finds one, but Nukia going to be able to chime in with the op as he spins around and finds it. And now it's going to be MANS Not Hot with a 1-man advantage and full control of the A bomb site. At least the flank will be coming in by Victor, but Nukia actually not aware of this. Could get caught off guard, and I believe he is going to do so. But no, he turns around, doesn't connect the shot anyway, so he will fall, and this gives an opening now for WINDIGO to try and move in and get this retake for themselves. As Nexa and Asilian are going to be left to try and clutch this one out. The fuse kits in play, there is utility. That flash has been thrown out there by the CT side, but still 2 in play for MANS Not Hot, as each player going to be able to have one in their possession. Bubble though will be walking into a crossfire, gets taken down by Nexa, and now it's going to be all left on to Victor to try and clutch it out. But Nexa, he's been stemming it up massively so far in Cobblestone. MANS Not Hot once again, they're able to equalise the scoreline and destroy the economy of WINDIGO.
And from what I saw there, it looked as though Nukia mainly bought the AWP in that round to just hold B flat, because he realized that Bubble was peeking it last round. He didn't want that to happen again. He didn't want the information to be lost. WINDIGO, however, switched it up with the boost in towards drops. They still got the information, and yet despite the 3A stack, they couldn't hold it off. It looks to be a similar situation here. With only the pistols, they aren't going to get anything done. It's just a complete firing range for MANS Not Hot. Easy kills for them. And, well, WINDIGO don't really have a great buy here. Quite a few players going down to slightly sub-optimal weapons to get the full nades. Bubble is going to get the AWP at the cost of no Kevlar. Yeah, certainly some cracks in this WINDIGO buy, but they at least have the rifles necessary to try and do something in this round. Having said that, MANS Not Hot running straight up towards mid. Punisher gets a double spray down, makes it a 3rd. How does Punisher get 3 kills there? Finally, Nukia gets the trade, but the damage is already done.
Yeah, and he's actually cut off alone at the moment. Nexa was going for a bit of a lurk through drop room. The bomb is going to get dropped by Stellan. And Nexa, his head's going to get spotted there by Victor. As it is going to be WINDIGO to take a very quick round, thanks to Punisher. Just stepping it up massively with that FAMAS. He was on 3 kills prior. He doubled his kills in that round, and it was extremely impactful, as now MANS Not Hot going to be scraping out a buy in this one. They will get everything they want. But if they lose this one, WINDIGO are going to be in a really good position to go ahead and claim themselves the lead. So, crucial round for both sides, as neither are really working with a great economy. But looking quite poor in terms of what they have left over in the reserve. As right now, MANS Not Hot, seems like they will maybe slow this one down a bit, or at least a bit of aggression early on towards B. Bubble, on the other hand, he's also looking to try to do something similar. Jumps up, looks to try and continue facing this one. And it could get dangerous, but that's actually a nice Molotov, I believe, by Victor. That should have cleared out the corner, but Doesn't really seem like it's actually landed, and Bubble instead with the Molotov not going to be going in his favour, but he finds the kill anyway onto Nukia. Takes him down, and it's going to be going all in favour of WINDIGO so far, as Esperanto finds one, but that's going to be it so far. Man's not hot. 2 on 4.
Oh, and Tensky decided to try and make a play out towards A, but Spellan had that up, manages to pick him off. WINDIGO managed to gain the advantage off of the early aggression. As you were saying, that Victor Molotov, I think he did slightly throw it wrong, so it didn't land on the floor. Either way, Nex has made noise out towards A by the looks of things, so the rotate is coming in as we speak. Nexa is managing to avoid the action for the time being. In fact, now he's going to run back down towards mid, so Bubble could be caught if he's not careful. However, he is also going to get his gun out. Not really much happening. It doesn't look like Nex is too interested in going for this one at this point. Having said that, it's kind of awkward, because saving the AWP would be okay, but I don't know how many of his teammates would be able to buy. It's not going to be a great buy, even if he saves it. So it doesn't exactly feel great for Nexa either way. But it looks as though he is going to try and hold on to this AWP in these last 15 or so seconds.
Yeah, I think he should be able to do so. I don't think WINDIGO are really going to be looking to hunt. They don't really have the economy themselves to actually allow it to really justify it. So they will be just allowing that up to be carried over, making sure that they're able to have a decent buy into the following round themselves. As Man's not hot now, losing the lead, and also losing control of their economy, as it looks like they will be facing an eco into this one. At least have the op to maybe try and work with. It'd be interesting actually whether Nexa keeps this or drops this over to Nukia, and it seems like it is going to be the latter, as Nukia the upper for this lineup, of course, and they actually get a pretty decent bio, all things considered.
A couple of AKs. Again, the nades are somewhat lacking. They don't have a helmet for Esperanto, but they're going to try and counter that by just going for a straight up B play. Very, very quick on the aggression. They don't need nades for this, but having said that, Bubble's going to get the quick kill, and the nade lands straight in Tensky's face. He replies with a quick headshot. Only the one entry so far, though, for the T side. Massilian might just push through this smoke at the right time. A couple of players sitting in smokes, but it's Victor to push through. He's going to get up close for a second headshot. And Massilian is stuck in towards drop with only a MAC-10. I don't think he's going to be coming out on top here. He's already been spotted. Punisher just about sprays him down. And a really nice play from Victor in particular there.
Yeah, nice initiative to push forward of that smoke. If he hadn't of, it's likely Asilian would have been able to find them from behind, as well as the kill that he did actually get. So yeah, that's what kind of tipped that round in favour of WINDIGO. And now, of course, Man's not hot. They have to buy into this one. They don't have any room to work with. It is the final round of the first half. And WINDIGO having a very solid buy into this one. Looking good for WINDIGO now, as they are looking likely to claim themselves that 9-6 lead. Unless the Pistols are able to find an upset. It looks to be, once again, just a fast B-play, which hasn't really been working out so far. Right, did originally come out for them, but it's going to be all back in favour of Ships, as he steps up massively and shuts this down. And Asilian again, the last man standing with the MAC-10. At least finding a couple kills, but low HP. It may just be all for nothing, as he will be finished off by Victor in the end. And WINDIGO, they step it up massively in the latter end of the half, and are able to actually make it a very solid one.
Certainly considerable improvement towards the end of the half. Remember, after winning the pistol round, they did go down 4-3 after losing a fair few gun rounds, but managed to recover, and they have a pretty good lead at this point. Victor leading the way alongside Ships. Bubble somewhat down there, considering he was AWPing a couple of times. That's a little bit disappointing. However, the AWP isn't as important on Cobblestone, so it's not really causing a massive issue. WINDIGO are still able to get out into a lead. And now they have the chance to extend that even further on their T side. I think WINDIGO will be quite confident they can do so. Generally, they seem to have a really good Cobblestone T side. So I think WINDIGO now will feel like they're in really good shape to take this to a third map. However, they still have to win the rounds. Even if they feel as though they can come out on top, CS is played on the server. You need to win the rounds.
Yeah, for sure. We hopefully will be resuming into the action soon, just waiting on the players to be ready. I believe one is just gone AFK for the Man's na Hot side, so just having a small break before we get back into this one. But yeah, it's going to be an important pistol round for both sides. Of course, if Man's na Hot are able to take that, they'll be in a good position then to try and get the momentum back in their favour, try and equalise the scoreline. The other way around, if WINDIGO are going to go ahead and take that one, they'll likely run away with a very good lead. And I'd say this map is one of the few maps that is probably considered slightly biased towards the T side, and overall WINDIGO tend to be a stronger T-sided team.
Yeah, WINDIGO certainly have a fair few playmakers on their team as well. I always remember specifically, it was Victor who, one time I casted him, he literally just ran out upper B on train, like round after round, and opened it up pretty much straight away. And they have a fair few players that are capable of finding those entries. And considering Victor's already top fragging, then maybe he will be feeling confident enough to be that playmaker and give space to the rest of the team, because that is so valuable. And to be fair, Victor, he's not only top fragging, he had quite a few impactful rounds. I mean, that 2K, it only comes up as 2 kills on the scoreboard, but pushing through that smoke and bring it from a 3v3 to a 3v1 obviously makes a massive difference. So clearly the impact of the kills was also there. Either way, straight into the pistol round, and you can see the buys. Bubble with the smoke and a flash alongside the P250. Asilian going for the CZ yet again. And WINDIGO fairly spread across the map to start things off. It looks like they might just be holding for a little bit.
Yeah, it seems like they have a plan at least. They have a bit of utility into this one, the smoke and the flash, of course. And looks like after holding just for the moment, waiting to see if an aggressive push came in early on, they will just go ahead and regroup over towards A. They leave Spellin over towards the drop room, I believe that is. The rest of them will focus their attention over towards the site that actually only has one player to try and hold this down. It will be Nukia. He was one of the shining lights for them on the first map, but he's going to need to step it up now on Cobblestone, as it is going to be WINDIGO just claiming themselves a lot of map control. And let's see what they decide to actually do with this. They, of course, could execute onto the A bomb site, but they do still have the option of maybe rotating back towards B after making their presence towards A known.
Yeah, Nukia would be the first line of defense, and then Tensky would be called for the rotate over. But these are all still hypotheticals, because WINDIGO haven't committed either way just yet. 43 seconds, though, and they are going to have to make a decision somewhat soon. And it looks like that decision has been made. The A split is being lined up, and Tensky hears the step, sprays away, gets a headshot. I think that was while running. That was incredibly lucky, as the second kill should come out. And indeed it does. Tensky cuts off that side of the push, but in the meantime, WINDIGO have gained ground towards the site, and the bomb should go down, but Tensky gets a third kill through the wood. And Man's Not Hot just frag out on the retake. That was very surprising.
Yeah, it was actually looking like a pretty good setup for WINDIGO, but it just didn't really work out. They weren't able to find that one kill on the Nukia, and just instantly Man's Not Hot then were able to pick themselves up a flurry of frags in return. And I think most of the players, Tensky was able to take 2, and then the players stepping it up with 1 each. So it's just a very good round there in total, as Man's Not Hot get that pistol round to get themselves up to 7. WINDIGO at least getting the bomb plant means that they will just go ahead and eco, and in the following round be able to get that buyout. But Man's Not Hot in a good position now. They should be able to get themselves up to 8 before they're actually really contested for this one, as it's just going to be Glocks and a P250, rather a couple of P250s available for WINDIGO into this one. I don't know how much is really going to be found. They do at least have 1 flash. Gives them the chance to maybe try and catch a couple players off guard if they're able to place that correctly. But you see Esperanto set up on the stairs, goes for TP, has an M4. Needs to be careful, but he also has the advantage at the long range. So let's see what they're going to be able to get done now, as he gets himself 1, gets the second headshot, looks to try and just shut this one down. And I'd say he's definitely done more than was required as Nexa. Really looking to try and close this one out. Spellin with the Glock, gets 1 at least. That will be it. 2 kills, I guess, found for WINDIGO. Not too bad considering how little investment they actually had into that one.
And now WINDIGO get to go for the full-on rifle buy. Man's Not Hot might not upgrade some of their weapons. They're only sticking with the 1 ump, though, so it's not a massive deal. Sticking with 4 M4s that they also bought up. Here we go, round 18 will come into play. Looks like WINDIGO, realizing that they think they might have a firepower advantage. They just don't know exactly what Man's Not Hot have here. WINDIGO might expect a fair few SMGs to be on the CT side. So I assume they don't want to take any unnecessary risks in terms of going very aggressive, in terms of getting caught up close. So they're just going to hold far back to start the round, which I think is a pretty good decision. They always have plenty of time to play with, and you don't want to run into an SMG up close that ends up mowing you down.
Yeah, especially if you're alone, you don't want to go solo, because then they have the opportunity to upgrade to the rifle, and that's just putting them in an even better position. So let's see what's going to be done by WINDIGO eventually. They aren't really in too much of a rush. They still have just about a minute to work with. They will make some presence known towards the drop room. Smoke goes down, and maybe just trying to make Man's Not Hot think that they're going to be trying to get some presence towards here, and maybe that the B split would be an option. But right now, they will just focus back towards A. And let's see if they're going to be successful at doing so. Decent setup at the moment. The boost coming in by Tensky is something I don't believe we've seen so far in this game, but it doesn't matter. Victor, he's going to go ahead and check that position, drops Tensky. I know Nuki with only a UMP is going to have to try and get at least a couple of kills out of this one, or maybe just try and stay alive to allow for his teammates to have a good position for the retake. Punisher burns the Sicilian alive, Ships takes down Nukia, and now it's just going to be 2 players that remain for MANS Naha, and I think they're probably just going to try and save this one.
Yeah, nothing particularly flashy from WINDIGO, to be honest. They just pretty much scrimmed on towards that A site, and it worked well for them. They managed to get the entries necessary to open it up, and that will allow WINDIGO to get double digits on the board. That's not hot, just being forced to save what they can. Interestingly enough, a couple of players do have some money in the bank, so with 2 M4s being saved, this probably warrants a force into the next round, depending on how much money they get exactly. I have to look at the specifics, because I think a couple of players will at least be able to get FAMASs, maybe even M4s. Let's see what the money's like. $4,000 on 2 of the players, Tensky and Nukia. It's very much on the edge, but with those 2 rifles being saved, it's probably worth the force. And Man's Not Hot agree, they are going to buy up. A bit of a risk. However, the reward is clearly there to be seen. WINDIGO don't have too much money themselves either.
Yeah, certainly. It's actually a slightly better buy than what they had to work with in the previous, other than the fact that they are lacking quite a bit of utility this time. They only have, well, they have at least 4 smokes to work with. They had a Molotov that's already been thrown out, so with still just about a minute and 40 seconds remaining, WINDIGO, they're in a good position here where they at least won't have a lot of utility to actually try and stop them from taking this map control when they want to do so. Looks like right now, again, they will favour towards A. This is a fairly common position to just try and get control of. Take over long, take over the water position. And then you have the option of rotating back to B if you want, or trying to just hit the A bomb site. And the fact that they keep showing presence towards the exterior of the map is making it not really predictable in what they're doing. But the kill's going in favour of the CT side. Nukia finds one Asilian, going to go ahead and step it up. And Tensky finds Victor, or rather Bubble, just walking directly through that smoke. And Spellin, he was over the other side of the map as he also got taken down by Esperanto. And MANS Naha, they're able to return this one with that, as you said, bit of a weaker buy. And as you mentioned, not really a lot of economy either available for WINDIGO into this one. So they're investing basically everything just to be able to actually scrape a buy together.
Yeah, that round there was, to be honest, kind of similar to the previous round before that WINDIGO managed to win, where they were just kind of taking aim fights, except this time around they didn't win them. And it looks really sort of, honestly, it looks pretty dumb when you just lose like that, when you don't win the aim duels. But it's certainly just WINDIGO assuming they can come out on top more often than not. Either way, Push is already coming in. Asilian double spray down. Nearly got the transfer, but Punisher had already repositioned, and he won't be alive for too much longer. Again, WINDIGO try to up the pace. But it seems like they're really starting to struggle now. 10-10 in even scoreline. However, MANS Not Hot have the much better buy. They should be taking the lead. And WINDIGO, well, I said that I thought they have a pretty good T side on Cobblestone. That is not being shown on display right now. They've only won 1 round so far.
Yeah, and now their economy is being completely broken. You see, they only have mostly Glocks to work with, a P250 and a Deagle. With the full rifles out for the CT side, we should see this being a fairly easy round for MANS Not Hot, and we should see them being able to reclaim themselves that lead into the game. As WINDIGO, they were looking pretty solid for a while, but MANS Not Hot stepping it up so far over on that counter-terrorist side. And now WINDIGO, let's see what they'll be able to find. They'll be aiming most likely just for that bomb plant to get the extra $800 per player, but that's not the start they would have wanted. Esperanto, he's able to drop spell in there above the drop room, and now only 4 remain, so not really much that can be done. I'd like to see them maybe just group up, try and get a couple of kills out of this if possible. It really is their best chance. Taking the one-on-ones when you don't really have the weaponry to do so is never really going to work out in your favour. As Victor, he leads the way at least with his Glock there, just trying to maybe overwhelm with the numbers at the moment is really the only thing that they have going, but that's not really going to work out either. Ships gets 1 at least, but still a really good position for MANS Not Hot, and it looks like it should go in their favour, as Bubble's going to be the last man standing.
Oh, Cillian, there we go, gets the reload off. I was going to say, nearly got caught out there, but it goes his way. So MANS Not Hot have the lead. WINDIGO, they came out to a strong start, but they are starting to falter onto their T side now. They will get the buy together yet again with only the AKs. I guess one thing to point out is that WINDIGO haven't been able to get that AWP just yet, because their money has kind of always been on the edge. They've always been on the back foot. They've never quite been able to save up enough cash. And we're already heading into the late stages of this game now. 11-10. Team is getting closer and closer to that 16th round they're looking for, and Chips does a lot of damage on towards Nexa. Sure, he takes some back from the nade, but Nexa's down to just 22 HP early on. Either way, no kills come through just yet. And Man's Not Hot, interestingly, have 2 players holding on towards drop. We have seen WINDIGO put quite a lot of presence there in the previous rounds. So that could be worthwhile. Man's Not Hot, I think, trying to go for a read here. It might work out for them, but if Nexa goes down on the B site, it could be very difficult to stop that plat push.
Yeah, certainly it could get a little bit difficult as 2 players right now, they are going to be at least hindering the rotate for the CT side. They are going to be keeping them in position for the moment, but as they do begin to back off now, we will see the CTs also going for a similar approach. They will begin to retreat back. Tensky beginning to rotate so that he'll be in position now to try and actually assist over towards B. And that's definitely the correct decision. We are going to see this bomb site split coming in towards B from the T side. See drop control is going to be coming in, and with 30 seconds remaining, they need to get a move on. And that's a great start from Massilian. He's going to be able to find at least 1 kill. Will be traded, but finding 1 may be more than enough. Let's see what his teammates are rather going to be able to get done on the bomb site. They need to try and shut this one down, and very little utility, so it seems like it is going to be gone in favour of WINDIGO. The players once again stepping it up massively. Tensky able to find at least 1, and now in a 2-on-3 with very little time left. The bomb needs to go down for WINDIGO. Tensky, if he could stop this would be massive, and he spots it out. He doesn't get it. Oh my god, he gets it in the end, and that's going to be the round. Nukia, all he has to do is fall away, and WINDIGO that round, they just took too long getting the bomb down, going for the boost. Didn't allow them to do it. They didn't cross to the side either, tried to plant it up against the wall instead, and the cover just wasn't in play.
Yeah, that has got to be frustrating from WINDIGO. They should have felt like they had that round in the bag, and to be honest, they were in a very good position to take it. However, I don't think they realized the time was so low, to be perfectly honest, because otherwise I don't think you go for the boost there. I guess they were probably thinking going for the boost should open up the space to allow the bomb plant. He should be able to watch from that higher position and make sure that he keeps his teammates safe. But it is still a risk. As seen, the 1 flashbang messes things up. And now WINDIGO have had to go for a slightly haphazard force buy. A couple of weakened weapons already in the mix. The UMP and the CZ. And well, Tensky's already going to take down that UMP. Lost before the round can even really begin. Sprays through the smoke. Good timing yet again. And WINDIGO stuck behind that smoke on their side of things. They can't really do anything about it, to be honest. Now the smoke fades, and Tensky could be in trouble. He doesn't expect them to be there. Tensky looked very, very unaware that that was a possibility. Either way, Nukia gonna get 2 kills back. Oh my goodness, it's a 3rd from Nukia. Esperanto also gets a kill back, but how did Nukia get all 3 frags there?
He's insane. That was actually nuts. The final kill, he even had he heard the footsteps, may have spotted the shadow, and he just started pre-firing, and it just perfectly connected on the headshot. So perfect round by Man's Not Hot. We saw at least 1 kill going in favour of WINDIGO, and the kill early on went in favour of Man's Not Hot. They tried to pull it back. At least they caught Tensky off guard, but Nukia just steps it up massively when needed. And even the mistakes that were made didn't really give enough for WINDIGO to work with, as they will be buying into this one once again. They don't have a great economy though, so they are going to be just working with the 1 AK, 3 Galils, and a UMP. And at the moment, it looks like Man's Not Hot are in a great lead. They have the economy building up in their favour. Now that the buy at least, or even if there is going to be a buy into this round by WINDIGO, is probably what they're thinking. They're not sure whether the force buy will be coming in, which is maybe a bit of a positive for WINDIGO. They could try and catch them off guard, but the early fight going to be happening towards mid. Ships is able to open it up. Nukia this time not going to be able to claim any headshots, as he will fall. And then Tensy's going to have to be the one to step it up towards this A bomb site, and let's see if he's going to be able to do so. Does at least get 1. Asilian pushing in through the smoke, steps it up with a double kill. Will be traded back by Spellin, but Nexa is still in position. Gets himself 1, and that leaves it all onto Spellin in a 1-on-2 up against Esperanto and Nexa, as they will have a good crossfire between the balcony and the bomb site, and the bomb at the moment is going to be down. So he's going to have to try and retrieve that eventually. He has some time at least to work with, so he will try and wrap his way around then towards the connector. Try and come in from balcony perhaps, or just at least try and catch one of these players off alone, as he needs to get a move on soon. 35 seconds, checks default, spots Esperanto, and actually does manage to connect some damage. But now with his position known, it just gets a little bit more difficult, if anything. Both of these players roughly about half HP, so certainly still a winnable situation, but he doesn't have too much time to work with. That is the main problem. And it's a good setup right now. Nexa holding a very tight angle here. Maybe able to close this one out as he gets the headshot for himself. And Man's not hot. They take themselves a 14th round. And WINDIGO's still not going to be able to buy into this next one unless they want to force it once again.
Yeah, and that was really impressive by Asilian there to realize he kind of had to push through the smoke. Not only does he get 2 kills, which is obviously a great way to get out of that position, and the flashbang was on point to allow that, but the main thing he was looking for there was just to give time, give space to the rest of his team. You saw Nexa was able to rotate over very, very quickly, so even if Asilian only gets maybe 1 kill and goes down, it still gives Nexa a good position to try and hold on to the site. That was the main thing he was looking for. In the meantime, though, in this round, Ships is just going straight out onto the B site, but the kills come back around. Despite WINDIGO getting the first kill, Asilian chimes in with 2 alongside Nexa. In the meantime, though, look at this minimap for a second. Bubble is on the A site. He might just cut off the rotate as well. I'm not sure if Tensky will be fully aware. Man's Not Hot seem to be taking it slowly, though. It seems like they are willing to give up the site, and somehow Tensky gets that headshot. So Punisher can't even be comfortable that he has the A site to himself now because, well, the rotators come in. Tensky is there.
Yeah, it's going to be a very difficult one. He does at least start off strong by finding the opening headshot, but Nukia playing from the door is going to be able to spot his cross and take him down as he tries to actually get to the site itself. So Man's Not Hot getting themselves map and also serious point, of course. Reminder, this is an elimination match, so WINDIGO, if they lose this one, they're, or is this elimination match? I actually forget. The previous one was correct, but this might not be. I was having a few issues. No, it's the decider match. Yeah. So yeah, it is. So it's gonna be neither team wanting to lose this one, and WINDIGO right now beginning to slip out our grasp a bit as Man's Not Hot are looking extremely likely to close this one out, and it looks like WINDIGO is with a bit of a last ditch effort will try and just go fast towards this B bomb site, and it's not really going to start in their favour. Asilian opens it up, but actually a couple of trades do come back. Punisher and Ships able to take 1 each, and now it's a 3-on-4 in favour of the WINDIGO side. But all the CTs are going to be in position to try and hold this one down, and they are going to be able to all step it up as it's now going to be all on to Spellin. 1 versus 2.